Hi, folks. Welcome back. Hope everybody's keeping well. So, today we're doing one of these different types of analysis commentaries on music again. So, this is not a reaction. This is a song that I've heard a long time ago for the first time. So, Iron Maiden, um, first exposed to them as a kid, finding my dad's LP of Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So, my brother and I wore that one out. Moonchild was probably the main one that captured my attention anyway, because the whole introduction to that, like I'd never heard anything like it before, and it sort of set me on the path to become, an Iron Maiden fan, like as we all should be, like, because I mean, it's Iron Maiden, come on. So that probably would have been in the very early '90s for me when I was listening to them as a kid. I don't know, 8, 9, something like that. Maybe younger. But yeah, the album artwork and just took you to another world. Anyway, so this is the first time I've had Maiden on the channel, and the song we're doing today is Aces High, and this is off Power Slave, which came out in 1984, which was the year I was born. The reason why we're doing this one is because over on my Patreon page, the poll for the month of June was for lots of different bands and songs that I've heard before. So it was, not a reaction, but just a chance to give a bit of a talk about something that I think a lot of people that are reactors out there, the reason why they're doing these kind of songs is because they've never heard them before. So I kind of feel like I'm missing out a little bit by not talking about so much of the sort of requests and stuff I get. It's like I can't do a reaction to that. So rather than ignore the song, I feel like just be upfront about it. I know the song. I've heard it many times throughout my life, although I haven't listened to it in a while. So, this will be kind of a little bit refreshing. And we'll just do a bit of a sort of breakdown chat about it as we go. I've got my guitar here ready, so we'll maybe even talk about some of the keys and chords and stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. If you happen to enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. Comment below any other songs you'd be keen on listening to me talking about. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by following me either on Patreon. You can check out some of my original music, which is sort of instrumental, proggy kind of stuff, metal. Although sort of mixes about different sort of styles. There's some chiptune in there as well, like, so you might like that. You can support me by going to Bandcamp, or there's Buy Me a Coffee on there as well. So hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, without any further ado, let's get some Maiden on the go here. Woo! Go. Okay, so introduction. So many things that come to mind whenever I'm listening to this, right? So I guess the first thing we'll start with is the fact that nothing sounds quantized. I love that. That's the kind of thing that like in modern day bands would be like, we would get everything and line it up and make sure it's like da 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 da, everything completely together. You can hear little discrepancies between the bass, the guitar, and the drums. It's really tight playing, but because it's human, you can hear sort of little discrepancies. It just gives us so much character that would be stripped if we just lined all that up on a grid. Like, so I love that. It's a pity music isn't really being made like this anymore. Sure, it's not. We really should go back to this. Be a shit-hot player and don't rely on your computer to make you sound better. So there's that. The distinctiveness between all the instruments, they all have different roles, even right from the very beginning. The guitars, two-part harmony in sort of thirds, it sounds like. You've got the lower guitar on the left, a higher guitar on the right. Then you've got the bass tone cutting through. You can hear what it's doing. And then the drums have this dan, da-da-dan, dam, da-da-dam. What else? Right, okay, we'll have to talk about the Anacrusis, don't we? So, I think, I can't remember what age I was when I first heard this, but I would have been young enough to definitely have been thrown off by the very beginning of this song. A little bit like the All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix one. You know, the way it comes in. You know, because when it comes in, your impression of where the beat is actually incorrect. So this one is the same in that the very first beat that you hear, the very first accent you hear, it's not on a downbeat, it's on an upbeat. Excuse me. So for anybody who doesn't know, an anacrusis is whenever music starts on an upbeat. It doesn't start on a one. It starts at the end of a bar. So something like this. In this case, it sounds like it's on the last quaver. Or if you're watching this in America, the last eighth note. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, it's on that. 4 and. The easiest song to get you to understand this is the Happy Birthday song. Everybody knows Happy Birthday. If you think about that, whenever you start to sing that song, you don't start on Happy Birthday. You wouldn't sing it like that. You sing to birth. That syllable is the one that gets the emphasis. So it's Happy Birth, because the birth is on the downbeat. Yeah. So this is what you call an anacrusis, right? It's really, really clever because if you listen to the da-da-dan, the very first one of that is different from the rest of them. It's squeezed into that bar, whereas the rest of them go over the bar. So let me see if I can describe this. I'll maybe take that in again, let you hear what they're doing, then I'll maybe try and describe it on my guitar. So. 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. So the first one, let's see, and we're in F sharp minor as well, which is, yeah, a bit of an interesting drop my pick. And I actually found it. When has that ever happened? So, yeah, it's just an unusual key to be in, isn't it? You know, it's easy to start an E or A or something like that. You get a lot, and actually those keys do feature a lot. Sorry, I'm playing about with my little footstool here so I can make this possible with my camera angle. So, yeah, we're starting, and then we go to D, E, F sharp. That's the sort of turnaround, which is the famous sequence of Iron Maiden chords, isn't it? If you think of this, rather than thinking of this as the 1, you know, like the first chord in the scale, think of it as the 8, because the 8 would be the top. The reason why I say that is because if you think of 8, then it would be 6, 7, 8. And that's actually sort of like 1, 6, 7, 1. But that sequence of chords, where you get like, say, D, that would be the 6 in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 note up. 6, 7, 8. So you get that sequence in Iron Maiden all the time, and it's the whole way through this song as well. So you get this. Just happens to be we're starting down. It's the same chord, it's just at the bottom. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You see the way that comes in just ahead of the bar. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm wanted. Now he comes off. That's all finished up before the first beat of the next bar. But if you listen to the rest of those, that last note is actually the downbeat of the first beat of the bar. Hopefully this is all making sense and isn't getting too complicated from the way I'm describing it. So let's see if we can get this right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's different every single one of those, apart from the first one. The rest of them are all the same. But it's just really interesting to me because if you don't know that, the very beginning of this song is like the kind of song, like I say, All Along the Watchtower or something, where you're like, it probably takes you a few bars before you're like, dun, 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 dun. I can't be the only one. Can't be the only one. Let me know if any of you guys out there are like, now you finally described it, I get it. Or else, like, we've known this all along, or, yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Definitely All Along the Watchtower was that with... I might start in a wrong stupid key. depending on where the beat is. If you hear it as da da da, but da 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 da, isn't it that? 2, 3. It's interesting. It's actually the same chord progression as this. Anyway, is that me finished with that? Yeah. Whoo! Let's move on. Different. Hear all the delay and reverb on that, especially off the start. Da-da-dan, creates all this space. And Steve Harris way up there on the guitar, you know, so he's not just doing a typical boom, 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 boom. Never any typical stuff, of course, going on with him. Like, but it's refreshing to hear the bass being used a little bit like Geezer Butler. He's all over the neck, you know, just gives so much dynamicism. I need more coffee. So 2 big modulations there in the space of that. We could almost think of that as like there's like 2 introductions to the song. You got the first one, which I've already broken down, then the second one, and then the verse comes in, and they're all, the keys are changing there. Nico's drumming, man. Finding space, all all those sort of offbeat on the accent, sort of offbeat cymbals there, you know, hearing his hi-hat. I've got, is it Rhythms of the Beast or something like that? I remember getting the VHS of him doing like a masterclass, and he's such a character. Like, you know, he's sitting with his massive, it's like 5 drum kits in one, and his sense of humor and everything. But the way he describes it's just, I don't know, his drumming. Like, what? There's no point in trying to say what the best thing about Maiden is, because they're one of those bands. They're like a super group. Everything comes together. But I find myself getting pulled so much into his drumming style. It hits me so much. Right, so what's the key change? So that's F sharp, D. We're on E. It's up to A minor. So that's interesting to me because that's a fourth. That's an interval of a fourth. You're going from E. You know. And it's definitely an E major. F, G, A minor. Same sequence of chords at the beginning. You know, that 6, 7, 8 thing I was telling you about, or about 1. In this case, it'd be 6, 7, 1. Whatever way you want to think about it, doesn't really matter. So yeah, the interesting thing about this is, although it might seem like quite a leap, whoa, where's that key come from? The E major is the dominant in the key of A minor. So although we haven't heard A minor up until this point, our ears are a little bit kind of primed for it because it's such a common sequence of chords if you're in the key of A minor already. What's that? The House of Rising Sun? Funny how your ears take you off different places. Okay, so yeah, it's a normal cadence. It's like a 5-1 cadence. It just sounds a little bit odd because we've started off in F sharp minor. So you're almost expecting it to go back. Isn't it weird? Like it's there you go. So Crazy Train. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So, also goes to A. So, Randy Rhoads doing the same harmonic kind of thing. You know, starting in F sharp, going to D, E, back to the F sharp, D, E, A. The difference is he goes to A major. You get that happy, jovial sort of thing, whereas Maiden go into the minor. So that's on the minor third, starting on the C there. Da, 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 da. So yeah, and then what happened next was we went from the when Bruce comes in, it's back to E again. So we're going from F, G. So we're going from G to E. So that's more of an unusual move, I think. Although G major is connected to E minor. You know, those are relative keys of one another. So there's still a link between those chords. It's not like he's moving from, I don't know, from G to say C sharp minor, which sounds like what's that Eric Clapton song? Layla. That sounded a wee bit like. There's a big key change in that. Anyway, I'm all over the place this morning. Tangents. I'm getting thrown from side to side. Really interesting harmony. Right, let's push on a wee bit. We'll take that second one in. F sharp minor, D, E. So this is what you'd call a cadential point. E, A minor. That right symbol. Wow. Is that a China? Drum fill, filled in the energy into E minor. Those offbeat cymbals, man. A lot to take in. So do you notice how Bruce is on the beat? All the vocals are delivered with the guitar. Kind of unusual. The fact that the melody and the da 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 da, it's moving up the sort of notes, diatonic notes of the melodic minor scale. So we're in E minor at this point. Just all the notes of the natural minor scale, you know, calling it melodic. It's melodic minor descending anyway. But it's a natural minor scale, and then it goes back to the A minor again. So it follows the same sort of sequence. So we've got that E minor, A minor sections, and again they're in fourths, you know, or fourths apart, you know. So there's something going on here with fourths. Yeah. E minor. You also notice the bass, it's not following da 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 da, it's dun 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 dun. It's got this real gallop and driving forward kind of thing. It's just rooted there, but really interesting rhythmic stuff happening there. He is changing the notes, it's not just a root note, but love the fact that that bass is more stationary at this point rather than just dum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum. He's dun 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 dun. Let everything else move around. Sounds beefier as well. The guitar sounds thicker at this point. It feels so free as well. This is another thing of like of its time because it sounds intricate, but at the same time there's like a freeness to everything. You can hear in those sort of fills and da 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 da. That little space, bass fitting in things there, or drums fitting in things, and it's like it's spontaneous sound, and it doesn't sound like calculated to the nth degree. Which there's a place for that, but this is why great rock music is great rock music. It's because it's got that blend of precision everywhere, but at the same time the guys have this freeness. It's like you wouldn't be surprised if there's all those little changes are slightly different every time they play it, and it takes a really good band to be able to do that. I'm thinking Van Halen as well, you know. Black Sabbath. Really interesting production choices there with the delay on the vocals. Because if you imagine that running, fire, whatever we saying, sorry, apologies. The one area I'm really lacking on is lyrics, because lyrics for me are sort of bottom of the list. I don't know why. They don't capture my attention until I've listened to the song a million times and I'm like, right, what's this song about? So I hear it more sort of phonetically and more like an instrument. But do you notice how, if you think about the way that's being performed, because it's just one word and then a big space, one word, big space, it might fall a bit flat if it was just da-da, da-da. But the fact that it's got that delay, you're hearing da-da, 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 da. Again, it helps with this sort of forward momentum thing, because it's like a train or something like that. Between the bass, the drums, the vocals are being used in a very rhythmic way to help the whole thing feel like there's momentum behind it. Harmonies in the vocals. There's that. I love that key change there. Because I would imagine if you were hearing that for the first time, you would expect it to go back to the tonic. Or, which it does come, but to hear the G minor in there, your ears are not primed for that. C, D, E, F, G. Again, up a fourth. There's that fourth again. So I'm not going to sing it because I'm shit at singing. But that's the chorus. Yeah. Beautiful. So if I were in G minor, then the sequence E flat F. So it's the same sort of 6, 7, 8 in all these different keys that mainly seem to be separated by a fourth. Interesting. Bruce's vibrato. That's the big thing. I remember going out with a girl years ago, and it wasn't the reason why we broke up, although it should have been alarm bells at the time. I don't like Iron Maiden because I don't like Bruce's voice. What? It's funny the things that stick in your head. That was unforgivable. I love Bruce's voice. That, and so much control over it. Darkness. And G minor. Whammy bar on the harmonics. You see how much control he has over his vibrato there, because those are multi-tracked vocals, and you can hear the that's sort of. I know he has a very dramatic sense of vibrato, but you hear how they're lining up. If he didn't have that control, that would be a whole nightmare of like this one's wavering at it would be a nightmare. So he has to have so much control to be able to match each of those recordings so that everything lines up. You hear he has that rhythmic thing? Goes in time with the beat. Love that. So much staccato in this riff, It's just the articulation, brilliant. Key change, new guitar. Some of those pinch harmonics in there. different every time. Fuck me, those fills, like. The flams. Oh, Nico. The energy, man, the energy in this is so contagious. I feel like I've drank 5 cups of coffee. There's only one. Vocal up there. And what hooks, eh? It's the first time you're hearing this, you're remembering this for the rest of your life. Like, you know, what killer hooks on those vocals. G minor. Man. It's just fucking incredible, like. There's so much freedom in that playing, like. Again. And even the way they end it, they don't go for this sort of cliched fade out, because they could, because they brought that theme back. It could easily fade that out. I love the fact that they're like, we've got an end, and there's that little sort of. There's a little coda on the end of that, which is like classical music, you know. It's a wee tailpiece on the end, you know. It's got the intro. It's got an outro. Love that. And the freedom within it. Coming in at different times. Just raw, proper rock stars. Fucking right. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this, folks, have a look through the channel. There's some piano covers, some original music, tons of talking, a lot of shite comes out of my mouth, but some of you seem to like it, so have a look if you do. And thanks very much for joining me. I'll see you all next time.